What's going on, ladies and gents? Jake, aka Countdown Ended, coming back to you again with a little Into Somewhere podcast. Hanging out as always, the man, the myth, the legend, the true holder of the One Ring, my work husband, Cody Oneidi 316. What's going on, my good man?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing very well, my friend. The heat is starting to break, and you got me down nostalgia lane. I wanted to talk wrestling memories, being in person. What are some great moments, or funny moments, or even furious moments, or sad, whatever it might be? Just I wanted to pick your brain and hear about your visits to WWE Live. So you said you had a Smackdown story recently, and I said, hold on, let's get this recorded to start off. So please do tell.
The one Smackdown story was from 2012. This is when Kane was back to his demon with a mask. He was feuding with Randy Orton at the time.
Yes.
Then they started brawling right in our row, and they knocked over all my food, drinks, like nachos at the time. I remember they destroyed all of that shit.
And of course, they don't pay for it most times. They don't. Sometimes, every now and again, if you throw a stink, the WWE will like comp you like a shirt or something, but most times whatever happens. Like when they take drinks from fans and throw them or whatever, yeah, you're out. You participated.
Yeah, so you can probably see me in that video. Randy Orton came brawling. I was like right there when they were doing that. It was at Mohegan Sun.
So we were at the old New Haven Coliseum, and this place used to be rowdy, and people would chuck stuff into the ring all the time. We're watching Raw there, and my grandmother and I aren't even sitting together. I'm young too. I'm maybe like 10 or 11, and I am like 7 or 8 rows in front of her, and she's in like the 203 section, so up high, so you can see just part of the entrance ramp in the ring, but you're like to the right side. So basically, you're on the camera side, opposite a hard cam, but way up against the wall, and so all of a sudden, my grandmother's like I said, she's against the wall. She's literally in the last possible row, and I'm in like 7 or 8 rows in front of her. So she can see me and keep an eye on me, but I'm not exactly sitting next to her. The people around me were really cool. They kind of made me like an honorary member of their family for the night. It was fun. And my grandmother had fun with the kids around her. They all called her, I called her Gaga. So by the end, everybody's calling her Gaga, and she was having fun with them and flirting, because of The Rock and all the fun stuff. But I see her arguing, and there's a massive security by her, and I'm like, oh God, what happened? Did she get hit? Or I didn't know. And somebody over there had kept throwing stuff into the ring, and they were throwing out the kid next to my grandmother. My grandmother was fighting with them, being like, no, he didn't throw anything. Like, it's not him. And they're like, well, who are you? And she's like, I'm just sitting here. I'm not even related to them. I don't know them. I'm telling you, it's not him. And because she wasn't related, they were like, oh, you don't have a reason to lie. And finally, they let the kid go back to his seat. But it was cool to see my grandmother like spring into action, just for the good of it. And that kid was like so thankful to her, and she's like, no, you didn't do anything that deserved to be thrown out. And then they found the kid at the very end of the row was the one chucking garbage in the ring. So they nailed his ass and beat the hell out of him, I'm sure. More than kicked out there. I guarantee they taught that boy a lesson. The Rock gave him the elbow drop.
You know it.
Right to the nuts.
I wish he gave me the elbow drop,
I mouthed off to Triple H once, thinking I was big, bad, and tough. So when Triple H had the McMahon-Helmsley regime going on SmackDown, and he had like Road Dogg and all the DX with him, and Kane was with them I believe for a brief period. Like, it was weird, but whatever. They had that whole thing. So Triple H this is at the Hartford Civic Center. And this was the closest I had ever gotten to sit. We were ringside, like to the left of commentary. So the commentary was a little bit further from us. So right at the bend where people get speared to that barricade, that's where we got to be for SmackDown. And that Polaroid camera I was telling you about comes into play shortly. But Triple H is up there, and he's talking from the turnbuckle. He's flexing, but he's talking on the mic doing his promo. And I just kept yelling at him like, you suck, shut up, all that. But I was relentless. I wouldn't let go. So finally, he's like hovering over me, and he points to me, and he flexes his arms, and I just sat down. And he's like, yeah, shut up. Like, it was but he put me in my place because he was singling me out, and I got so anxious. But it was hilarious, It's like it stands out for me. My grandmother in the same seat, she wanted to get a really good picture of the next match, and the Big Show was coming out, and I'm like, oh, she probably forgot or doesn't realize he has pyro, and she's standing on the chair, leaning to take the photo, and just as he comes out, the pyro goes off, and she went down backwards on her ass. Knocking over food and everything because she's not expecting it, so it goes off and it's a big bang right in front of you for where we are, and she just falls right backwards on her ass, like right into the next row. Oh, it was hilarious. She was okay, thankfully, but she was a tough chick. So many things like that. We used to move seats all the time. Like if we got cheap seats in the back at the New Haven Coliseum, it was like a free for all.
I got to do that at WrestleMania 37 because we were that was where only limited people could go.
Oh, that was after the pandemic mania, yes.
Yep. So I got to move around a bit, which was fun, but not really a funny story. But I got to see an amazing match between Bianca and Sasha. That was a great match.
Spaz would be flipping out if he heard you say it, but you're not wrong. That was one hell of a match. I think everybody's problem is just that she uses her hair as a weapon. That's a DQ. Come on, it's a whip. Somebody, anybody.
Did you see that mark? Was it the Elimination Chamber? The mark on Liv Morgan?
Oh my God, that looked like a permanent scar on that one. I was like, yeah, it's over. Ring the bell. She's done. This white chick has been defeated. That looks like it
fucking hurts.
Yeah, that absolutely is brutal. Totally brutal. I don't even know how to state it any other way than that. I mean, just ow with that thing. Yeah, I remember when the first time I went to a WWE event that was with my mother and my father. First time ever I'm going to go with them. I had been with my grandmother. I got to take my best friend with me. And I had not really done. My father just came into my life like a few months before that, so this was supposed to be like a big deal. And we're sitting on the floor, and it's a house show, not a televised show. So there's no pyro, there's no entrance way. They just kind of walk out to their music and wrestle. Still entertaining, but not what you're expecting as a kid, especially at that point when you'd gone to other stuff. And I didn't understand, how is it on a Sunday afternoon and it's not on TV? My mind didn't quite get it all at 10 completely. Right. So that's how
I was when SmackDown used to be taped. When I was little, I went to SmackDowns, and I'm like, why are we going on a Tuesday?
There was this father next to me, this Spanish family, and he went ahead and he kept yelling at his son for being excited. If son would yeah, and get all pepped up, of course, and he would yell at the kid to shut up and all this stuff. So
that happened to me recently when we went to the house show in December. This kid was
at MSG?
Yeah, hell yeah. Then and the dad was yelling at his son to shut up.
It's
he had a son and daughter with him, and they were yelling, and he was telling them both to shut up.
Yeah, that's terrible. Why go? That's the whole point of it. I got this. My grandmother's friend went with us once. She was a younger girl that used to work at the restaurant with us, and she did the same thing. She was mortified that my friend and I were yelling for the Hardys and going nuts. And I'm like, it's Lita. Look at her ass. How could you not be excited? But you know what I mean? I'm saying, it's just all these things. So the father is berating this kid, and finally he's making the kid cry because he took his cane mask away from him, and now the father's wearing the cane mask. But the father is going to the concession stand with my dad repeatedly, and my dad even tried to say something oh, kids will be kids, let them have fun. And he got mouthy with my dad. So I'm like, oh, great, it's going to start a fight. My dad never lets things go. I knew this already, this quick in. It's going to be bad with alcohol. But we get back to the seats, and the guy chugs his beer. He sits down, and he puts the cane mask back on. All of a sudden, you hear, and he throws up. But he throws up into the mask. So it's just a puddle of vomit all over his face, his lap. It projectile vomited, but just into the mask attached to his face. So literally just leaked down slowly all over him and splash. And he's spazzing out, and it's splashing, and oh God, it was going everywhere. I was at that age, anything that grossed me out, I was the kid that would gag and vomit himself. Like I couldn't take smells and stuff at that point. You know, I'd be dead for. So now I'm retching because he's got vomit everywhere, and I just wanted to. Like it was the worst experience ever. So I came after. You know, my grandmother and I had this amazing time at a Raw. And then this thing was just like no one was there for talent. It wasn't live. It wasn't like any pomp and circumstance. And I think the highlight of it was Triple H. And
ruin things.
I've seen so many events where with families just completely destroying their kids' memories because the father or mother are so drunk. And we actually went with some family friends once, and they ended up bringing just enough money to get their booze and not their kids' stuff. And they were like, come on, we'll pay you back kind of idea, and made the kids kind of come over to us to ask for stuff. And it's like, you know, one of those scenarios. And I often said before, like, they shouldn't even have drinking at events. I get why people want to have fun, but there's too many people that can't be responsible.
I agree, because it just ruins the fun for other people. Like, this isn't a wrestling event. This was a Disney World where this pissed me off. So, like, a few years ago, we went to Disney. So this guy was drunk behind us, and he vomits. Then he spills his beer on me. And, you know, I got a mouth on me when I get pissed. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Especially when you're in Disney, it's hot. Now that beer smell is going to stink on you all day. Yeah.
Because Florida's hot as fuck. So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm pissed.
It's going to be humid, sticky.
I smell like the alcoholic now.
Yep, it's bad. You're not wrong.
He had a cup of beer and all dumped on me. So I smell like alcohol all day. It gave me a headache. I was so annoyed.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I remember I told the story about my grandmother going bobbing for fake bloody tampons at the Radio 104 booth with Dee Snider. She got us front row. And eventually, after Stained was over, we couldn't take anymore. We had to go sit in our seats. I had just had ankle surgery not long before. That's why I missed so much time my freshman year. So I couldn't stand much more. I was like really sore. And I had all my friends, my neighbors, their names were Jess, and Agnes. I had the three girls in front of me with my arms around them. And then I had my grandmother and my mom behind me, who my grandmother got into a fist fight in the mosh pit with somebody. And, you know, Chester's trying to get my grandmother to flash on stage. Like this whole thing is just, you know, crazy. God. And we finally get out of there. We get to our seats. And the way it is in the Hartford Civic Center, then the stairs were very, very steep, but they had like very short stairs, so it was easy to just up and over yourself. So this guy, we're pretty much at the top of the midsection. He vomits in front of himself, then stumbles forward, slips on the vomit. I swear to God, if they had this secured, this would have went so viral had it been the chance. He slid now down the stairs painfully, going down super fast. And then he goes and he finally gets to the railing and it smashes into his balls like you would not believe.
Oh, no. Fuck that.
He crotched himself on this metal railing. I swear on my daughter, I am not exaggerating. I'm not being hyperbolic. No bullshit here. If my grandmother was alive, she'd tell you the same story. My mom could actually repeat it to you. So the guy then projectile vomits from that, and then EMS had to come and just take him out. I'm sure he exploded his nuts in that one, but he literally just throws up, falls, slides on his ass all the way down, tumbling, and then full force just into the metal support railing with his nutsack. That's a spicy meatball.
Thinking about stuff like this, like I always have this shit luck with this. I have two other stories about vomit, food, and all this. You know, local carnival in Shelton.
Sorry, folks, if you got a weak stomach. I don't know how we got into this one, but
my sister was the one that committed the crime towards me here. So we went on this spinny ride, and we were sitting. And once the ride was over, she turns over to my lap and pukes. I was so pissed. And then I was a kid. Then my parents said she could take a shower first, by the way.
Of course.
They said, I'm like, she can take a shower first. Yeah. I'm like, I'm the one that got puked on.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
You walked up to him, you're like,
fuck it, I'm saying it.
Listen, I'm showering. Fuck you guys. Yeah, never mind how hard that guy's nuts hit the metal.
She's like, when she got sick, she probably needs a shower. I'm like, Are you guys slow here? No offense, they're my parents, but like, are you guys slow? What do you mean she needs a shower first because she got sick? What about the person that got vomited on? Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. No, that's a little too squishy for me, son. Sorry, she can hose off, sis. I love you, but
yeah,
I'm going first. You threw up on me. My grandmother, I remember going to the carnival the first year they introduced the Sizzler ride. It's a ride that everybody sits in a car, like 3 to a cart, and it spins around really fast in a circle, and it makes you feel like you're going to bump into the other cars. So it's got like 3 sets of cars, and they all spin around in a circle, and they almost bump into each other. It's called the Scat or the Sizzler, something along those lines. And basically, the cars just, yours completely spin in a circle while the other 3 carts all together are spinning. So everything's moving parts. So you constantly feel like you're going to crash into the other carts. But basically, you're spinning.
Right.
My grandmother can do roller coasters where you don't go upside down and you don't spin. Like if you're just going like up and down really far, like fast, like the Superman ride, she can do it.
Yeah.
Zoomerang, forget it. So with this one, she immediately, her equilibrium sucks from the rheumatic fever. She was paralyzed for 5 years from it. So instantly, like a knife to the gut. This woman, she's just, but we're spinning as it's happening. So it is just flying all over every single person sitting in the ride of the carnival. So she couldn't help it. Like it just flew, but it happened mid like turn. So as she's vomiting, and I'm like, stop the ride, please stop the ride. Somebody help me, get somebody. And the whole time I'm like, somebody do something, and they're not stopping the ride, and she is just vomiting and just continually vomiting, and I'm like, oh my god, it's getting like but it's flying everywhere, and the more like they're not stopping, the more she's just going nuts. And I'm like, I don't know how to fix. Like I'm trying to tell her, like, close your eyes, you're gonna be okay. Like I didn't know what else to do. So finally we stopped, and everybody is just, some other people are vomiting now. It was so embarrassingly traumatic. I mean, I was like, how is no one stopping the ride? And I guess the guy was just not paying attention to the end.
Vomits, it causes,
Yeah, I was just like, come on, do something, anything, for the love of God. And that was at that moment.
I wouldn't
be
able to deal with that.
Yeah, no, God hates you in that moment.
God hates you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
apparently one it has stuff to do with landing on me: substances, vomit, food, alcohol. So here's my next one. You know the Big E in Massachusetts?
I've never been, but yes.
You've never been?
I've never actually been to the Big E. I've had tickets multiple times, and I've either ended up in the hospital, I broke my ankle and couldn't walk. I had knee surgery. Like, yeah, the Big E and I just never seem to line up.
You should go one time.
No, I'm staying far away from that fucking place. It's like a gypsy put a curse on me. She was like, come here. You are now fatter and stupid, and you're going to be clumsy and break everything. And I'm like, oh, thanks.
So here's what happened here. So they have this circus there. So someone brought food in, and I couldn't get mad because, I don't know. There was a child that dumped their food on me. I think it was on purpose. It was nachos and cheese, but they were jumping up and down. So it's not really on purpose, but it's annoying. So the cheese sauce dumps on my lap, and it was September, so I have shorts on, and the cheese is kind of hot, so it lands on your bare skin leg, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Why is it always me that has to take the seat where someone's gonna?
A family member of mine, he turned into a sociopath. But I forget when he picked up a slice of cheese pizza once, straight out of the hot oven on Worcester Street. We were at Sally's, and comes out, boiling hot, and he just picked it up immediately and went to go bite it, and all the cheese slid off onto his chest, and it was burning his chest, and he didn't even react to it. I'm like, kid was.
Jesus.
He was a demon, but yeah, crazy. I don't know. I'll tell you some stories sometimes, you know, and it's too much on air. But yeah, we ended up, you know, talking about wrestling memories, and we just kind of kept BSing here, and that's kind of what we want to do. We want to bring more topics in, and this is just kind of a little bit of a preview of the Unapologetic
Hopefully
and Completely Random podcast.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, well, you and I were talking about bringing back UCR. You know, I had the Unapologetic and Completely Random podcast, and you and I always want a chance to kind of talk about non-wrestling stuff, maybe once a week, once every other week, whatever it may be. And I think this might be cool to shed the Into Somewhere name and go ahead and do it this way. So we'll find out what the feedback is. You guys got to let us know. Would you like to hear more about Cody and I just shooting the shit and talking memories? If so, comment down below, and also let us know what you want us to talk about. What topics do you have in mind? What questions do you have?
Got SummerSlam coming up. I'm going to be there, remember?
Yes. So we got a man on the inside again. Just we had Paul there for Smackdown on the 4th of July. Well, we got
maybe funny memories will happen there. Hopefully nothing gets spilt on me.
That's it. No vomit, no spills. Cody, tell the people where they can find you, my good man.
You can find me over on my Twitter or X or whatever you like to call it nowadays at Judgment Day Era. You can find me over on my YouTube also at Judgment Day Era, and I'm going to be posting video game content soon. Maybe some GTA, MLB The Show, Madden, whatever you guys prefer.
Yeah.
And you can find me over on my Instagram at Cody_Oneidi_316.
Absolutely. So like you said, you can find us on TikTok. It's at into.somewhere. We're working on getting content live over there. We are also on YouTube at Jake Countdown Ended DeMarco. Please subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the bell for all future notifications, because we're live after most WWE televised shows and PLEs for reviews. We cover NXT, TNA, and some AEW, so make sure you go ahead and tune in for all of those. Let us know what you think of UCR. You can find me on Twitter and on Rumble at Countdown Ended, and on Instagram under the same. Thank you, stay sexy, and we'll see you all soon enough.
Hell yeah.